Good morning, good afternoon, good midday, good everything to all of you. So I cannot be more excited about today because anything that can give people time back and create a better output, I'm definitely all in on. And so one, I just want to address the fact that, look, now we are in the world of the post-NAR settlement. So I hope you all feel confident. Chelsea, nice to see you here today. Now, what I want to just have everyone quickly focus on, just outside of before we hop into the world of AI, is just really focus on controls, right? We all have a choice on how we choose to invest our time. And if you're not practicing the dialogues that you need to have with your clients, you will have a problem and will lose money. Period. End of story. Right? So I just want you guys to realize that everything you need is here, and indefinitely I'm here to support you through all of this. It's as Brad says, sometimes I'm a little too far ahead in my training because we started talking our stuff like 2 years ago. So we've been talking about this at literally ad nauseum for years. So whatever it is you need, we got you. And the most important part that I think you need to realize is you all have each other. So if you haven't joined an accountability group, connected with a colleague here, please do so. It's the difference I find that makes a difference. And so without further ado, we're going to talk about creating your own custom GBT. Now, what does this mean in like the English language for simple people? It's imagine Chat GBT, but for you, right? It knows you, the way you want to communicate, your brand pillars, your brand voice, your listing descriptions, the way that you like to communicate on social media. So everything that comes out of the output of it is you. So it's not like you find yourself constantly going through and saying, well, change this. It doesn't sound this way. Does that make sense to everybody? So we have one slight error in technology today, and this is something I can't control. As we were sitting here just messing around and making sure that this all worked correctly, there is something wrong with Chat GBT today where it's not letting us fully go through and hit the create GBT button. You get to the whole place where you actually have to upload the content and it just kind of spins around. So first it rejected it, then I changed the prompt, and then it just goes and goes and goes and goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the process. We're going to open it up again for Q&A because it's technology. I'd have a real lack of insight if I didn't think people were going to have questions and left a lot of time for it, right? Because the important part is not that, hey, here it is, here's the formula, here's the doc, see you later, have a nice life, good luck, we gave you all the steps. No, that's not how it works here, right? Like the thing that we care about the most is that you're actually able to use the information you have to be applicable in your business. So I'm going to walk you through all the steps. We built out all the prompts, all of the information. I'll walk you through. We have a document that I'll show you guys now that will show you guys how to do this. So give me 1 second and I'm going to share my screen. And we'll be off to the races. And for those of you that want to stay on in the end, like the last 5 minutes, we haven't built this yet. It's like so early, but this is like a way for you all to connect that I kind of just want to see what you think, right? As we found what I believe is the best way to enhance connections, community, and collaboration with all of you, and that we're working on getting set up before the end of September. So there's been a lot of focus that we've had here internally on how can we create a better experience for all of you? How can we make the training easier to find? How can we create an on-demand coach? How can we create better community, collaboration, engagement with each other, referrals? So I've been hard at work here with the team, and they've done an incredible job. So we want to kind of start sharing it with you as it's coming out and directly collecting your feedback so that it's not like we roll something out and then, you could have told us a bunch of stuff that would have made it better for you in advance. So here is the essence of creating your own custom GBT. So we made your own little build your marketing playbook. So this will walk you through all of the steps and all of the prompts on creating a custom GPT. This should take you maybe 30 to 45 minutes to do one time. So the first thing is we're going to want to get started. So act as if you're a social media marketing expert with 30 years of experience, specializing in creating engaging social media marketing strategies for luxury real estate agents. Create 6 content pillars for a real estate agent in Westport, right? To use on their social media to build their brand authority experience and create engaging social media presence that will showcase their listings. So it built me out 6 different content pillars: luxury marketing insights, property showcase, lifestyle and community, expert tips and advice, personal branding, stories, interactive, and content engagement. Now, that's the first part, right? So this is kind of like an idea of how it works. Now, when we look at this, the first one is really around being a social media marketing expert, right? The next one is going to be around brand voice. Then the one after that is social media content. Step number 7 is building your educational pillar content. Step 9 is property listings, and step 10 is emails. Right, so this is a pretty comprehensive approach to all of the marketing in your business, right? So you're going to want to take some time. I'm going to stop my screen share for a second and take some notes if you want to take notes. You'll want, excuse me, you'll want to take time in gathering samples of listings, right? Remember, we sent you that whole way of that we suggest doing property descriptions. Remember, with like the crimson sunlight reflecting off the pool, all of those cool emotional words. So when you're uploading things onto here, you're going to do one of 2 things. Number one, if you have marketing pieces and content that you're happy with that convert, upload those, right? Actually, 3 things. 2, if you don't, find samples of other agents that you aspire to be like, or other samples that you like, and upload those. Or number 3, always say, I'm not sure how to write a good property description. This is what I'm doing. Ask me, and then go through the set of prompts, right? Just remember, for anything from brand voice to property descriptions to social media, the one thing is you can always do is say, ask 5 to 10 questions about completing before you complete blank task, so you can have the right information to complete it. Did I lose anybody? If you're lost, just hit lost. This is a very important part of this. All right, nobody's lost. My technical skills are good today. All right, so let me walk you through what this actually looked like when we did a mock sample. So we went through here and it created the 6 content pillars, right? Now, I just left these pillars as they were, but if I was doing this as an agent, if it had video in it and I hated making video, I would write back to ChatGPT, I don't want video or video marketing to be part of the plan. Please adjust. It'll adjust it for you. If you don't like the way anything sounds or what a pillar is, get rid of it, right? So I want to introduce you to something that Steve Jobs used to do. It's called the 10-80-10 rule. He said that 10% of the time that he spent on an entire project was upfront in the conceptualizing of the product, the prototype, really working on the idea. In this case, that 10% is what this is coming. 10% is the information that you feed in. 80% is going to be the output that it gives you and the way that you refine it. The last 10% will be making personal updates to anything that it writes. So I can give you an example. In a social media post, it says the word discerning buyer. I don't know what a discerning buyer is. It doesn't really make sense, right? I could either train it to write in a thread, never use the word discerning buyer, or I can manually change it. The 10% in this represents the 10% of things that you'll just manually edit. Because sometimes if you change, depending on the prompt, You could have 98% of the stuff that you like, and there's small things, and then all of a sudden you get a completely different output because it doesn't understand what you're asking. So now here's the next one. Act as if you're a brand marketing expert with 30 years of experience creating brand voices for luxury real estate agents. Create a brand voice for a luxury real estate agent that will be used across social media, email, and all marketing formats. Now, here's the important prompt part. Ask me 5 to 10 questions, one by one. If you just say 5 to 10 questions, it's going to give it to you all at once, and that makes it difficult to answer. To establish what my unique brand voice is, the question should be for someone who has no experience in what brand voice is and simple enough that a fourth grader can understand. So here's another technique for you. When you're asking it questions, when you have ChatGPT ask you questions, you always want to say, the question should be for someone who has no experience in whatever it is you're talking about and is simple enough for a fourth grader to understand. And then the last part, with the goal of the brand voice being for a luxury real estate agent, tie it back to the outcome. First question, what do people feel when they think about your brand? You notice it gave examples, trust, excitement, luxury. That's perfect, right? Trust, luxury, local market expert. I only sell in one community. When someone reads your social media posts or emails, how do you want to come across, right? Knowledgeable, sophisticated, and confident. You could put friendly, any of these different adjectives, right? Now, if you're still unsure, I would go back and it says, can you give me another 15 or 20 examples to choose from? And then it'll list out a whole bunch of different tones that you can pick from, right? Remember, input, output. That's the most important thing. What words or phrases you best think describe your approach? Personalized, service, attention to detail, results driven. Again, you could always ask for more. How do you want to describe their experience? I want them to feel, my favorite phrase, curated luxury, where they felt I organically anticipated their needs and gave them what they wanted before they had to ask. Thank you for sharing that. Here's the next question. The visual style, modern and sleek. It could be modern and upscale, elegant. Again, always ask for more. Last question. What sets you apart from other agents? I would say living in the community, having kids in the local school, and I only sell this market and I live here. So now out of it, it came up with my brand voice, right? Tone, knowledgeable, sophisticated, and confident. Trust and expertise, personalized service, curated luxury, visual style, messaging focus, exclusive focus, client-centric approach, right? This brand voice can be used across. Now, I would always refine this, right, to make it what I wanted, right? If you like everything, keep it. If not, again, keep saying, I really like what you wrote about, let's see, I'll give you an example here. I'd write trust and expertise, right? I would say my trust and expertise is not being a go-to agent. My trust and expertise is with 30 years of experience living here, going to local schools, raising my kids here, knowing the restaurants, please update, right? So I would refine this as it goes along. Remember, that's the 80%. It is the refinement to get to a place where you feel good with, right? Remember, the 10% plus the 80 is 90. You want this to get to a place where it's 90% of what you want, so you're spending minimal efforts editing anything. But remember, your brand voice is the most important part because that's how it's going to pick the words, tone, and format that it communicates in. All right, act as a social media marketer with 30 years of experience specializing in creating engaging real estate content across specific brand pillars that create engagement. Generate 5 social media posts for each content pillar above using the brand voice. Do not use emojis. The only reason I say do not use emojis is if you don't write emojis, there's gonna be a lot of emojis, right? So if you're an emoji writer in your social media, you could put 1 to 3 emojis in each post max. Again, the better direction you give it, the better it'll follow. Think of it like a dog. If you tell a dog like sit, it'll sit. If you tell a dog like go over there, then the dog's not going to know where to go, right? You tell a dog come, it'll come to you because that's how you trained it. If you just says go over there, nothing happens. So this created the post, right? I didn't like this. Westchester's luxury real estate market is evolving. Stay ahead with our bi-weekly market update where we dive deep into the latest trends and how they can impact your investment. That sounds way too salesy. And then like, if you see here, I went down. This sounds too generic and the platforms are social media. People did not come here to feel like they're reading an encyclopedia. Be harsh with this. Use verbs instead of adjectives. Verbs will share an experience, and adjectives are just like a description. And next, if you're an expert social media copywriter with 30 years of experience creating engaging content that gets a person to want to share your content or write copy while adding value. Discover the latest trends, see how the shifts could boost your property's value. I still don't like this because it felt really short, right? So now I wrote back, can you make the post slightly longer and less salesy and more on brand voice? Now look at this. Stay informed in Westworld's market means more than just following the numbers. This is a solid hook, right? So I would, again, if I were sitting here and I was all of you or I was doing this with a coaching client, I would then get this output and I would say, please put a compelling hook and act as if you are on the brand, with the brand voice. So you're getting engaging things, right? So let me show you a couple of ones. Like, curious about a recent transactions that are influencing Westbrook's luxury market. Our latest report uncovers the stories behind the numbers, offers a closer look at how these trends might impact your next move. To me, that sounds interesting, right? Because everyone has numbers. A story behind the number is your unique perspective. And this goes through all of the content pillars. Personal brandings and stories. Westchester isn't where I do business. It's where I've chosen to live my life, raise my family, and become part of the community. My deep connection to this area informs every decision I make for my clients, ensuring they receive the best possible guidance and support. See, I would write back to their stories, right? I would put this here, and I would say, please change anything to make it about the person or the client or the reader or the learner, right? So this is about you. So again, you can reprompt it. That's that 80%. This is the prompt for the SEO blog posts, right? Act as if you're an expert copywriter with 30 years of experience writing SEO optimized blog posts based on unique brand voices, based on unique brand voice. Turn the post from pillar 4. So this is important because it gave me 6 pillars. Pillar 4 up there was what my blog posts were. So you could have 6 pillars, but at minimum you want 4, right? So it went here and it wrote these articles. They look kind of short, right? Look at this. When it comes to selling a luxury property in Westport, first impressions are everything. Preparing your home for the market is about making it look beautiful. It's about creating an atmosphere that speaks directly to potential buyers, showcasing unique qualities that make your home stand out. Yeah, this is great, but they're really short. And I don't know, I felt as a reader, I didn't really get what I want out of it. So I said, so then I went online and I looked at what the average blog posts were, and then I made it a little shorter. And I said, make each post 750 words and ensure at the end of each post, there are clear action steps that someone with no experience can follow. So now this became longer, and here are the action steps. Same thing all the way through. And again, you could talk about the writing style, the tonality, the overall flow. You can put all of this together. And here are my blog posts. Now I would go in, I could put my listing descriptions in, as well as copies of my emails. If I was doing postcard marketing, you can upload the visuals of what you have or what you like. And then it's literally now, this is how easy it is to do if this was working correctly. Just this, you go to explore GBTs, create GBT, and that's it. So I would just go down here. I would put this prompt in. Put Westport. I would click this little thumbnail button here. I hit upload from Drive, not my DMV form. And this is where it gets to today. So there is some form of an error, and that's it. And that is how you build your own custom GBT. You can save it. You can share it with your team members via link. For team leaders on here, I would build one and then share the link with your team. So it's in not your personal voice, it's in your team's brand voice so that everyone writes and communicates in the same tone. All right, so I went through this relatively quickly as it's pretty much just a learn and do process. But now I wanted to leave ample time for questions. So if you have a question, just unmute yourself.
Chirag, I have a question.
Hello, good morning.
Good. Well, morning. So you were going through and you were saying that if we don't want it to change the whole output that it gave us, but we want to change specific parts, how do we specifically do that? Where will we edit? And can you walk us through the steps on what we need to take?
Yep, perfect. Okay. So all right, so let's go through here. I'm just gonna go through the first prompt. All right. Copy. Now tell me one part that you don't like. You can make. All right, here, I'll make up my own prompt. Just gonna write one, if not. So let's look at post number 3 here, right? We can't really talk about schools, right? So I would say in section 1, post number 3, you refer to schools, which is not something I would like to speak about. Please, I'm so used to saying please, keep all the other content the same and offer me a new option. Oops. Does that make sense?
It does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, here's another thing that's interesting, right? Your chat GBT thread, it pulls from all of this stuff you're pulling for, right? So I had to retrain my GBT because I have a football player I work with who's also a Compass agent, Michael Neal, and it thought I was Michael Neal, right? I'm like, I'm not Michael Neal. I had to retrain it. So in doing some of these, if you don't want all your past searches, because people search for all kinds of stuff on here. You don't know, nor do you have to share what kind of interesting, weird, or just random things you search on. And you're going to say, please do not don't use any of the information from prior searches to affect the output of this next search, this next chat, right? It's really important to highlight. All right, who else has a question? Can you demonstrate how to analyze market data? That will be tomorrow. Andrea, you want to elaborate more on what you said, what you have?
Just that I've been writing a blog post. I'm sorry, ChatGPT and I have been writing a blog post for the last like 2 months. I try it every week, and I use I said use SEO keywords because of what you said, and then I said tell me what the SEO keywords are, so like I can understand what they are as well. And then when I uploaded it to my luxury present site, it says like, what are the keywords or something? So I added that to the bottom. So we'll see what happens. But I can tell you, I've been getting more, my phone's been ringing more.
There it is.
And I'm like, wait, what? How's this happening?
It works if you work. That's how it's happening.
Right.
They always say that's such a great quote. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
It's opportunity. Right.
Yeah. All right. Who's next? And I find it hard to believe that nobody has a question.
So is this only on the 4.0 paid, or is it something you can do this on?
I have no idea, but I'm just going to say this to everybody. If you can afford to go buy a meal out, go buy ChatGPT 4.0.
I'm probably not the only one, but we can get $20 a month to death in this business. But my bigger concern is not using it, like paying the money and not using it, because we do that all the time, right?
Even if you use this one time a month, it's worth it, right? And this is something I believe everyone should be using all the time. You should be using the voice feature when you're in your car. You should be using this. This you should be using in every aspect. And if you follow that 10-80-10 rule, it'll never sound like AI because you have that last 10% to make it your own. Think about how valuable that the voice feature is, for example, right? If you want to role play, you would literally just click the button, say, hey, I want to familiarize you with the way that I pre-qualify people I work with. It's based on this formula called MEDC. M stands for this, E stands for this, and my goal is to do this, this, this. Can we practice this as if you're a buyer meeting me for a consultation for the first time? And tell me how effective I was in communicating. And look at tonality, listening, responsiveness, ability to engage based on specific information. And you could literally role play. How many people want to role play but don't have anyone to role play with? How many people want to role play but feel weird doing it with somebody because they don't want to look a certain way, right? This is something you can do it with. And yes, you can get $20 to death in this business. I agree. The bane of existence in budgets is the two words, it's only. All right, who else has a question? If it's not with this, we're on our third AI session. If you have questions about anything related to AI and ChatGPT, Miriam, you have a question?
Yeah, I have the ChatGPT desktop version, and so maybe I'm overlooking something. Where do I find the voice part?
Do you have an so here, if you could see, there's like a little headphone buttons on the app. When you go to the App Store, you want to make sure you get the one that has this logo on it.
But that is a separate app. That's different from the ChatGPT that I'm paying. That's on the desktop, correct?
It's the same thing. What you do here will end up on your desktop.
But I tried to download something, and for that I had to pay $16 a month.
No, so when you go to this is a good thing to show people. So when you go to the App Store, you never underestimate the ability of somebody else to try to make money off of what someone else built.
True story.
You see
I
this are
can't-
all
I
these,
couldn't figure it out either. I'm just like.
they're all of these different options. So if you look at this Chat GBT logo right here, it will say the official app by OpenAI. That's the one you want to get. It's white and the logo's in black aesthetic. And the logo is interlocked together and it says, so like chat on looks like Chat GBT and says powered by Chat GBT and Chat GBT 4.0. You want the official app by OpenAI. There's so many different apps that are like this on here, but you want the official one by OpenAI.
Can you show it again? Sure. It's white with the black.
Yeah, so here, let me share my screen here. We zoom in.
I just want to make sure I got the right one. Yeah, that's it. I see it.
Yep, it's that one.
Yep. That's it. Perfect. Thank you. And you'll be sharing all of this deck again, right, for us so we can go
We're
through
gonna
and
give
use
you
this.
all of the steps as well as we're gonna screen record when you get into the actual custom GBT, how to put the information is, how it uploads, what it does, how you can share it. Like everything else, I planned on demoing it for you today. My team sent me a message right before we got on, no more live demos. Right, but what we want to do is make a video of us going through the process together so it's easy for you to follow. And tomorrow is, bless you, Andrea. Should we redo our budgeting class with ChatGPT using Keep It or Cut It in Excel workbook we start? Yes. So you can
Chirag, would you just show
upload-
that? I apologize. It's Maggie Miggins in Short Hills. Would you just show that again? Because I'm online trying to find it on my thing. Can you just show
on your
it?
iPhone, you're gonna want to find
No,
the
not
one.
on iPhone, on my Mac.
All right, here,
I'm
hold
trying
on.
to find it on my Mac.
Just threw it up in the chat. There's a link there.
See what it looks like. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome.
I just
I
showed
have
you.
a question
Shoot.
about Chirag AI. Are we gonna have some sort of a training for that as well? Because I
So-
thought that was this also, but
Well, we can. I could literally pull it up right now, right? It's the same thing as this. It's just you ask it real estate questions, right? And some of here, hold on. Pull this up.
You're gonna minimize.
Here's the Shrug AI for anyone that wants to click it that doesn't have the link. Password is CS24. So you would come here and you just put CS24. All right, the first button I want to show you is this button, the give feedback button. Ah, it's not active. Okay, here it is, feedback form. All of you should actively be using this. I don't know why it says that. I have to ping somebody. Maybe it's because I'm in an incognito window, but giving feedback is really important, right? We want to get to a cadence where every 2 weeks we can update this and release new content in here for all of you, right? So working with buyers, sellers, scripts, seller scripts, upcoming classes, Compass tools, right? So you can click here. Same prompts work, right? And I think the important part with technology is this a step-by-step process that a fourth grader can understand? Look on context menu. It's like finding your friend's name. Click on the name of the person you talk to. This opens their information. The activity tab, it's like a notebook where you write what you did. This sounds really simple, right? Choose what kind of activity you did. Was it phone, email, meeting? Add the details. Write down what you talked about or what you did. It's like telling a story about your day. So you can put in see, the thing with AI that's really important is we have to really monitor the feedback, right? And this clicks here, perfect listing presentation. Here's literally a 5-hour workshop that we did on this topic, right? So everything's in here. So it clicks and links to videos and everything too. So look, like anything that we have been working on, we're just looking at ways to enhance it. So you know how ChatGPT has a dashboard that looks like this. What we're working on getting is this being your login dashboard on your Chirag Shah Coaching community platform. Where all the content is, we want to make it like this, where there's a few buttons and that you can just type in anything you want, whether it'll find a content, it'll find a resource, it'll answer a coaching question. It's going to be trained just on our knowledge, and it'll be more advanced than what we have now because we're building it from scratch. Don't be shy. You guys were also chatty in the first two sessions. Is everyone a ChatGPT expert? Is it Monday? Are you thinking about the NAR settlement and you're not focused on leveraging your time and multiplying your profits? Where are all of you today? Because no one's dropping off. If everyone's just lost, you just see the numbers.
I'm gonna make you laugh. I asked ChatGPT to help me find its sister on my desk, on my Mac. And it's like, sorry, that doesn't exist. So, because I was trying to look for the exact same, that's why I was so happy. I think it was Ryan put it in, or no, Brad put it in. Thank you, Brad. So that I could then download it. Because how often are we on our Macs and we're just like, blah, 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 and we want to talk. We don't want the phone all the time, you know. That was all. So they couldn't find it. He couldn't, Mr. ChatGPT couldn't find it.
So look, I think for everyone's mindset, it's a learn and do process, right? You have to learn, you have to do, you have to try, look at input, output. And then also it's like testing, right? You could put something in here and then you could put something in Chirag AI and see how the answers are different. I use it to help me plan a menu. Do not underestimate the value this is in your human life outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
Brad?
You know, I'm curious about how quiet everybody is too, Shrug. And I do wonder, I heard this analogy about learning a new language, right? And it's like you're speaking how it is to learn a new language. You're teaching that. And the best way, of course, is experiential. So as you're encouraging people, get in and use this tool and use it in ways, not just in your business, but use it like you would Google, but learn how to use it like it's not Google. Learn how to communicate with it, because you are learning how to speak a new language, technically speaking, by using these large language models. And if that sounds too overwhelming, trust me, it's so natural once you start using it that you'll really start to get it. It will click and it will untrain you from using search engines and start to train your brain on how to use ChatGPT and AI. That's just
I couldn't agree more.
And sermon.
I tried it this weekend. I had to go to an 80th birthday party. I wanted to put a special little note in it. And instead of sitting there and banging my brain for hours to write a little note and how you're going to say it, I just said, write it like a 30-year experienced copywriter and told it what I wanted it to include. And after 2 shots, I was done 10 minutes. And I said, this is wonderful. This saved me so much time.
There it is.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
Rock, and some of us are quiet. Let me just speak for myself, is because you've already answered our questions. Like the one question that I came with, you answered it like right when I unmuted myself to ask, and which was related to, do I have to go to that prompt every time for it to remember my brand voice? And you automatically said, no, you don't. It's going to remember your brand voice. You have to actually tell it when you don't want to use your brand voice. So some of us are quiet because you've already answered our questions. You're good at what you do.
Thank you. Danielle, it was best ways to win a listing presentation, so that's what this was. All right, so for Wendy, right, here's what I would
Yeah,
do.
Chirag, I'm just totally lost. Like, I'm good. I can't find ChatGPT on my desktop. I'm looking, somebody's telling me to look in the lower left-hand corner. I don't see it. Every time I download something, it doesn't look like it's what you're showing us.
Are you on a Mac?
No,
Okay, then I can't help you. I'm sorry.
I know. So I'm
So
quiet
look,
and I'm lost.
if you went in here, it says, what is the difference between Chat GPT 4.0 and the previous version?
Because I added all those previous prompts in the prompts in the previous version, and it seems like it's spitting out the same thing that you guys are getting at 4.0. Because I can't get to 4.0. I don't know where it is. I can't seem to find it on my computer, or I can't find it to download it.
I have I don't have a Mac, and I'm about to put the link in from my
You
PC.
rock.
So here, look, you see how they have this little button here on the website? This little arrow here?
Okay, well, move your mouse. Let me see what you're looking at, because I'm not sure where we're at. Okay.
Right where the new chat is, right next to it, there'll be a little down arrow. Click that down arrow.
Let me see if I have that.
Right, so model size, understanding and accuracy, reasoning and problem solving, creativity and coherence, context handling, multi-model, I don't know, error reduction.
I have 2 options, Chat GTP Plus and Chat GPT. I do not have Chat GPT 4.0.
So hit plus and see what happens.
Well, I can pay $20. Don't know.
That's for yours,
but
it's a plus.
okay.
These are the ones. I don't think the previous version has the voice feature either.
Okay, and then my other question is, when I downloaded and I went to the powered by the right people that were powering ChatGPT, when I opened it on my phone, the logo switched from being a white background with black writing to a black background with white writing. So now it makes me feel like I didn't do the right one, even though it says Get Plus. So I don't know. Did anybody else open it up on their phone and like download it from the Apple Store and then open it up, and did the logo change too?
I did, but mine's looking for more money now. And not showing that I already have it downloaded as an app on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should look like your home screen should look, oops, let me stop my share.
Okay.
It should look like this. And always look, go to your office, your AEM will be good at helping you with this too. And so look, this is what the home screen looks like. It's black with this like a little white dot.
Yeah.
Mine's not, mine's white.
Mine's white.
Yeah, mine's white.
Oh no, I can't read that.
Listen, it could be different based on your iOS, your phone type. So as long as you can go to the plus and it's asking you for $20 a month, it's the right version. So again, I would just play around with it.
Oh,
Now,
this one is 15.
no, then it's the wrong one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's I think
Yeah.
why we're all quiet, because we
It's
don't
a
know.
wrong app.
Okay.
It
I'll
just
figure it
has
out.
to be the one by OpenAI. Do you have an iPhone or do you have an Android?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I have an iPhone and a PC.
Okay.
Yeah, mine
So-
says $19.99 a month. That's
And
what
you
it is.
said that if we buy this, that
Hi, is
that
Marie
somehow
working?
they're going to talk to each other, like they're going to
I wanted to see if I could
Yeah.
come in
Because
for
it's the way that it
bikini
communicates is through an email. It's through your email address that you log in. So you just write login with Google and you write login with Google
Okay.
and it's the same thing. If you want to practice your real estate scripts, you're going to have to use
About
ChatGPT.
Wednesday?
You don't have a voice feature.
Yeah.
You'll have to use
Oh, come
ChatGPT.
on.
I quite don't have the same funding as
Okay.
OpenAI.
How about somebody have tomorrow
Could somebody mute Laura?
at,
Yeah. Are we in two different?
All right, Sharon had her hand up.
So how is this different from the Chat GPT we have in the Compass app?
Say that again.
How is this different from the Chat GPT version we have in the Compass app?
So if you look at a lot of these models, it's based on think about a moment in time, right? So AI is not like a search engine that updates in real time. So Compass, whenever they launch their AI, it's based on that model in that time. But from my understanding is the thing was built to navigate around the Compass platform, right? And pull information from your current listing. It was not built for the same features and benefits that these are built for. Does that make sense?
It does, thank you.
I suggest to everyone just use ChatGPT Plus or 4.0 or whatever it is. There's so many benefits you can get out of it if you just use it. And to Brad's point, you just have to practice. I'm telling you, half these prompts that I came up with that are really good was just me using my imagination, just coming up with random things to be curious, right? What happens if I tell it to be a copywriter that speaks in the therapeutic thing based on this kind of attachment style? It's really interesting.
And Chirag,
Can I
I
share
liked when you
another,
said-
another?
Oh.
Go ahead, Miriam.
and I also liked, Chirag, that you said, don't accept the first thing, but just keep asking. Because from my perspective, for my weekly newsletter, since I've been doing it so long and it's more niche, it comes up with more generic things, but they're still great ideas. So you keep on asking, and that's when you finally get what you're looking for. So it's really, as I told me, it's working with a secretary who you keep on asking for more, and you don't have to be nice. So that's thank you for that.
The other part that I want to tell you is 90% of the time when I'm doing longer workflows like this, I don't even look at what the first output is. None. I just immediately go to what the next prompt is because it has to have a starting point, right? So once it gives a set of information, then you can bring it. It'll take a few rounds, right? It's like if you get a postcard for marketing from your marketing advisor, do you ever accept the first draft? No, you go to 3, 4, 5 drafts for a postcard that you're mailing out that at best has a 1 to 2% conversion rate. These are direct messaging, direct systems, direct processes, brand voice. These are things that you're building to automate aspects of your business. The goal of this is to leverage time, a brain that has 150 IQ, and give you back time for the things that you love to do, whether that's spending time with your family or working.
Hey, Chirag, can I make another comment or piggyback on what you were sharing earlier with prompts?
Yep.
So what's really fun is to be creative instead of saying you're a master email marketer, think of somebody put into the prompt in the voice of Seth Godin, write me a marketing newsletter, about blah, 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 right? And then it comes back and you could even, you continue the conversation. You could say, well, be less verbose, could you refine that and be less verbose? And when you're creating stuff, what's really fun is within one chat, what I'll do is I'll create a listing description, right? Is something kind of basic level that we're all doing. But don't stop there. I go back and revisit that chat and I say, okay, give me 3 bullet points that I can use, say, when I want to promote this at our sales meetings, because we have these input forms for the sales meetings on a new listing, and they only want 3 bullet points, or to Leonard's newsletter, right? So you can just go back in, revisit that same chat, and just start asking it questions, and iterate on what you've already been building with that to continue, growing out your content on the same listing.
Mm-hmm. Like threads.
Anyways, more encouragement to just keep communicating with it. Don't stop with just request and response.
ChatGPT is your spouse, right? Where you started and where you are today are two very different things. It's just constant communication. Look, I took Brad's suggestion in the voice of Robert Refkin. Westport, Connecticut embodies the essence of what it means to truly live well. It's a place where the charm of small town living meets the vibrancy of a community that values quality, connection, and culture. As the town seamlessly blends history with modernity. I never heard that word before. Westford offers an unparalleled lifestyle for those who seek more than just a place to live. So here's another good one. So change the adjectives to verbs. Now watch this. Now, when you say change the adjectives to verbs, it becomes more experiential, right? It's a place where the charm of small town living merges with community that values quality, fosters connections, and nurtures culture. Westport blends a history of modernity, offering a lifestyle for those who seek more than just a place to live. But what truly sets Westport apart is the people. It's a community that connects, where neighbors greet each other by name, and there's a shared drive to make Westport a better place to live, work, and raise a family. Whether you're drawn by the excellent amenities, a highly engaged community, or the promise of a lifestyle that relaxes and refines, Westport invites you to more than just a destination. It welcomes you home. See, this says it's more than destination, it's a place to call home. Like, do you notice like these just small little things, right? Now take this brand voice and write me 5 social media posts where each highlights one reason to live in Westport. Right, in a storytelling format where someone feels they are living the experience you are talking about.
Chirag, will you ask it to define modernity?
Yes. So look at this. Imagine. I've never heard that word in my life. So think of this, right? Imagine waking up on a crisp Saturday morning, the sun gently filtering through the trees, and you decide to take a stroll down to Campo Beach. The sound of the waves lapping at the shore soothes your minds as you sip your coffee from a local cafe. Families are setting up for a day of fun. Kids are already building sandcastles, and you can't help but to feel a deep sense of peace. This is what living in Westport's all about, a seamless blend of natural beauty and community that invites you to slow down and savor every moment. I want to go to the beach now, right? Like that literally, to this point, write a story where someone feels like they're living the experience.
Quick question. What was that prompt that you said, turn it from a adjective to a verb? Is that what you said?
Yep. Yeah, here, I'm going to put this thread in here for everybody. All of you that want what we put to get this output in here. Can you define modernity?
In the voice of Robert Refkin, could you define modernity?
Thank God you.
Thank Brad for this one, in the voice of. It's all about embracing the best of what today has to offer while respecting the roots that brought us here. Huh, that's a good word. If I could pronounce it, you'll hear me saying it all the time. It's kind of like the core of what we do, modernity, right? Like we're trying to embrace what gets us here, but also like living in the future.
Modernity.
Modernity. See, thank you all for making me sound smart. Modernity. Jesus. All right, look. I hope you all are inspired and just seeing how simple this could be. I'm telling you, I'm obsessed with that Westport post. I'm going to send this to a couple people that work around here and encourage them to post it. Now, imagine this. Hold on. I want to show you one more thing. Look at this.
Fascinating.
It's incredible, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, when you send the links to the chat GPT and then I open it up on my website, how do I, on my browser, how do I like save the prompt? Or is that like a paying version and that's why I can't do it, which I think it might be the reason.
No, you could just have to copy and paste it, right?
Okay.
That's it. So look at this walking scene, 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 25 seconds, right? Like this is incredible.
Forgive my naivete, but I do know what modernity is. What is this for?
We're just showing different samples of what you can do. So they wrote like a really good post that was very experiential, right? So now I'm just showing you different ways that you can work through this, right?
And so you use this video for marketing
Yeah.
and
Like
you hand this to the videographer to deal with it.
Exactly. So look, now this thing wrote this awesome social post here. And then I'm like, wow, I would love to make a video. So first it made a video that had all these different things in it. Then I asked it to refine it to a 90-second video, but this still revolves like kids playing in the beach and sand. And then it's this one without people, right? So it has a wide shot, a close-up, an empty bed, a tree-lined street with soft morning light filtering. The camera tracks slowly down the sidewalk, capturing the morning. A cup of coffee resting on a cafe table with the steam rising into the cool morning air, a gentle breeze. Empty sidewalk leading towards the beach with shadows of tree branches dancing on the pavement. Good luck, right? So some of these things you just sit there and mess around with and you can get to something incredible. How many people hire videographers for property tours and they have challenges?
I want to go to West.
Chirag, I'm curious if you could go to the next level in your chat and ask it to recommend a local videographer in your area to help you produce it.
Let's see.
I'm just curious.
Recommend a local videographer to help me film the video. Searching local videographers. There it is. Now let's type this. Who is the best real estate agent in Westport CP that can help me find a home to buy? So if you pay for SEO, right, Now, I would look these people up and I would reverse engineer them. Like, what are the reviews? How are they flowing? So how did you choose these two agents? Provide me a step-by-step process a fourth grader can understand. Hey, Compass. Brad, you have us on a rabbit hole today, my friend. I like this.
Yeah. Love it.
Leslie Clark, a Compass agent, a client. Marion Philly, she was a client, a good friend of mine. Michael Farhart. Wow, I know. I've worked with a lot of these people here. Amy, where are you today? Amy Dessel, where are you? This is incredible. Compass, 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 compass. Now, here's the thing. If I got out of this, who are the best 10 realtors to work with in Westport CT based on customer reviews? Don't factor any information from previous chats or history. Jess Sigmund. Interesting, right? Do you see how the results change?
Now ask it, what do I have to do in terms of business to find myself on that list?
Ready, hold on. Give.
Hey buddy, I'll be right with you.
Chirag, when this is done, could you please share the link?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jesus. Look, I think the most important things here are SEO, not, and that part is Google My Business. Right, but this is something to start thinking about, because I think what Brad really has me thinking about now is this is how people might start finding recommendations. And that's all for today. I've kept you a few minutes after, so as always, love in my heart. I love you all. This was a really easy learn and do. As soon as Chat GBT is back up, we can finish creating the bot and send it to you all. And again, happy Monday. Love you all. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.